In the dim, dusky void, before light, before space, before time, there was darkness. Eons flew by before light, before warm, and light began. Life began long before man, death was born, no one to mourn. Energy passing free from the sun, endlessly, sun to plant, plant to beast, in a chain that never ceased. Nature's round, perfect sound, harmony of energy, changing free constantly, yet the same. Nature's game, endless change. Sunlight to green plants, to creatures that fly, that run. Transfer of energy, life and death are one. Life and death are one.
This is the story of life, an endless chain of life that uses and reuses the energy from the sun. Without the sun, there would be no life, and without plants, there would be no chain, for only plants are capable of capturing energy from sunlight. In arid lands, the extent of life is also controlled by water. Like energy, water is stored by plants and passed on to mobile creatures. Life is energy, the continued use and reuse of energy. So life is death, and death is life, in an endless chain. Man is one link in that chain, an important link. We can hold the chain together, or we can break it. Which it will be depends upon our learning to understand ecology, the delicate web of interrelationships of plants, animals, and their environment. The ecology of arid lands offers an ideal opportunity to understand nature's endless chain. So, while there is still time, let's watch and listen as the desert sings its song of life. First, a plant nourished a beetle. Now the beetle represents a cache of moisture and energy for this mouse. The taking is not free. Like a skunk, the beetle defends himself with a smarting, stinging spray. But his energy is about to move along the chain. What was once sunlight and snowflakes, a plant, then a beetle, now becomes a mouse, the newest link in the endless chain.
sunlight to green plants to creatures that fly, that run. Transfer of energy, life and death are one. Death to life
Again the chain, first sunlight and snowflakes, beetle and mouse, owl eggs to snake, food for the baby hawks. Bird droppings washed down by rain become nutrients for the sagebrush. This wildlife story has ended. It was eons old and went on and on like a musical round until the moment man arrived. The coyotes, running in terror, have been separated forever by man's intrusion. The female has headed for the safety of open country, but her mate dashes in confusion toward man's world and in eventual wasted death. A fleeing coyote, torn from the world she knew, may evoke nothing more than a passing moment of pity. But what of the intricate life system she once shared? Where is the plant that fed the insect, the mouse that nourished the owl, the animal waste that fed the plant? Man's mishandling of nature has often been so intense and mindless that some scientists have predicted an end of acceptable living conditions within 200 to 300 years. Some see the end within 1 generation. Others offer the faith that man has the ability to react to his mistakes and still has time to correct them. All agree that we cannot continue to misuse and ignore the environment that supports us. But to care for it, we must first understand it. Here, a simple, unchanged environment, delicate because of its harsh nature, offers the greatest opportunity to observe and unravel the intricate functions of ecology. The female coyote finds Project ALE, A-L-E, for Arid Lands Ecology, 120 square miles of dry land in central Washington state, set aside as a study sanctuary by the United States Atomic Energy Commission, which has supported research on the environment since 1947. 2/3 of the Earth's land is arid, but until Project ALE, there had been few detailed attempts to study arid lands as a living system. The ALE land, which experiences bitter winters and extremely hot summers, is part of a large reservation purchased in 1943 as a site for atomic production plants. However, only portions of the area were built upon, and large sections remained relatively undisturbed by man. When it became apparent that this reserve would be an ideal study area, the Commission set it aside and provided funds for a team of scientists, researchers representing all of the life sciences. A superb opportunity to understand the dynamics of an arid lands ecological system. Earth supports the only known life in our solar system. It has prospered and nurtured itself with interacting food chains and rhythmic cycles in an orderly, grand ecosystem known as the biosphere. This is the zone of life made up of forests, grasslands, tidal zones, and oceans. The principal roles are carried by plants, animals, and bacteria. Individuals are temporary, but the chain will live on and on until it is snapped by some catastrophe, such as the loss of the sun's energy. When man was primitive, his destructive impact was felt only locally. When food ran out, he moved on. What alarms ecologists today is mankind's disregard for his total dependence on his environment. He paves city streets where oxygen and food-producing plants once thrived, then rolls out more pavement, and without knowing or caring, destroys distant ecological systems. Where nature is slow to heal herself, we must tread lightly, if at all. This old wheat field, now part of the Ale Reserve, is startling evidence of man's impact on other life forms. It has lain dormant for some 25 years since it was last tilled. When the original orderly structure of plant forms is stripped from such lands, soil blows, water runs off, carrying more soil, nuisance weeds invade, and water tables are shifted. Left alone, these naturally arid lands are amazingly productive, yielding as high as 2.5 tons of dry matter per acre. Sun, soil, plants, animals, air, and water. All of this earth is involved and interrelated in the existence of life. Each component and its relation to the whole must be understood. Most of the creatures of Project Ale are small and have become adapted to niches where chances for survival are the greatest. As always, plants and animals depend on each other for survival. Grasses afford food and shelter for the pocket mouse. In return, he unwittingly plants grass seeds by storing them about a half-inch below the surface, just right for germination. Adaptation is the key to survival for the pocket mouse. He is nocturnal, spending the day underground, where the temperatures never rise much above 78 degrees, even though the surface temperature could be up to 160 degrees. Breeding seasons are greatly influenced by environmental circumstances, especially the quality and quantity of annual plants. This built-in birth control mechanism, through centuries of selecting, discourages breeding during years of scarcity. The pocket mouse has another valuable characteristic. He can be trapped and retrapped over a period of years. Cyclic changes set into motion by annual rainfall can be traced through plants to the pocket mouse. Data of this nature, along with all the life science studies collected here, are processed and stored by computers, then integrated into a web of information. One of the great values of the Ale Reservation is its ecological simplicity. But even the most elementary environment is so complex that researchers are faced with a mammoth task of coordinating the search for guidelines. However, once determined, these guidelines can become the first step toward a computer-oriented control system by which we may learn to conduct ourselves on this earth. Some ecologists feel the damage man has committed is irreversible, and that the biosphere as we know it is doomed. The more hopeful outlooks are based on man's accepting the fact that nature is not endlessly bountiful and does not exist just for man to conquer. Reconciliation is a long way off. Hopefully, the path to it will be found by the type of environmental research being carried on here. Meanwhile, we can all help by trying for a better understanding of the intricate web of beauty that embraces our globe. Nature is fragile. Her wondrous ways, the fate of her endless chain of life, are in the hands of man.
Man, man, arrogant dreamer, star-bent, moonstruck, head in a cloud. Man, look now to your family on earth. Your Mother Nature is wrapped in a shroud. Death, life, ebbing and flowing, everything changing, and still the same. For millions of years she's suckled her creatures, all in a cycle, and then man. Man's armies plundered in blindness, taking, tearing the richness about her. But if she dies, she'll take you all with her. What made you think you could go on without her? Open your eyes to her woman's way. Hear the life song she soft sings silently. Maybe there's time if you learn to love her. Know her, show her that you care. standing silently. Maybe there's time